The level of groundsmanship put into the King Power Stadium certainly matched the efforts of the team itself. In fact, John and his team's pitch designs and artistry week on week amazed fans and outside media the world over, but he has received some criticism from within the industry.
For us, the pitch patterns really came about through, I've got a very creative team, and there's no way that I would ever obstruct that. But a lot of what we do is built on, as I said earlier, on a solid foundation, and the pitch is the same as that. You know, the pitch for us last year and this year has been in very good condition, and we wanted to almost highlight the skills that my boys have. And for me, really, I looked at it as an opportunity to really put groundsmanship on the map, because Leicester City were probably one of the most talked about football teams last year, with the success story, the underdog story, and all the different things that went with us winning the league. I thought, what a great opportunity for us to showcase not only ourselves as a grounds team, but groundsmanship in general. And the patterns, you know, it went crazy. I'm not going to lie, and they're not for everybody. And you know, sometimes they're not for me. Sometimes we just like to do the basics because it is time consuming. But the world over, we're talking about Leicester City, and in turn, the world over, we're talking about groundsmanship. And for me, as someone that's been heavily involved with the IOG from a very young age, been on the young board of directors, chairing the young board of directors, and still having an input into the IOG now, accommodating the IOG's and the young IOG's ideas and concepts of bringing stadiums into schools. For me, it was just an ideal opportunity, and one that I seized. And at the minute, I'm studying for a degree in business and management, and I've just not long finished a section on marketing. And again, for me, it's looking at the wider picture as opposed to being narrow-minded. It's seizing the opportunities I put in front of you. Now, it's not, like I said, it's not for everybody, and I don't think everyone should be doing it. And I'm not sat here saying if you put patterns on your pitch, you'll get more exposure and you'll raise the game, because pitches will do that with a high standard that's across the Premier League and at the highest standard of football across the world. You know, the pitches are immaculate, and that is the expectation now. But certainly for me, it was an ideal opportunity to showcase what we can do, what groundsmanship is about, and in turn, hopefully, give the industry a little bit of a boost that it's definitely needed for a number of years. And I'm not saying I'm at the forefront of that. I don't want to sit and take all the credit for that, but certainly for me and for my team, we thought it was an ideal opportunity to really showcase what groundsmen can do. And if it takes patterns for people like Lord Sugar to tweet about it, I've had numerous tweets and Facebook messages from across the world, from China, Japan, America, India. We've had people just talking to us about turf, you know, and what a great story that is. Yes, the football club achieved what they achieved, which was immense, but we were part of that, and we formed part of that. And what a lot of people were talking about was the pitch, and for me that was great. And some people, you know, as I said, it's not for everybody, and some people did throw a little bit of negativity at us, which, you know, I understand. If you put yourself on that platform, that you must take criticism as much as you must take the praise. But for me, the most surprising part was that it come from within our industry, and I will never name names, but it was a little bit soul destroying for my lads, because, you know, they put a lot of hard work and effort into it. It's not something that we just throw together. It's very well thought out, and everything that we do is planned here, as I said earlier. So for us to get negativity within our own industry, it was a little bit of a kick in the teeth, to be honest. But, you know, as I said to the boys, I wouldn't want them to rise to it. I don't want them to react to it. I want us just to keep doing what we're doing, you know. And if people want to throw negativity, then that's unfortunately the platform and the level that we work at now. But certainly within the industry, it was quite disappointing to get that. But we dust ourselves off and we carry on, and we wouldn't let it change what we're doing, because we believe it's working for us. And as I'll say time and time again, it isn't for everybody, and I'm not here saying that everybody should be doing it. But what I'm saying is it worked for us, and if the response that I've got from around the world is anything to go by, it's done its job. We've done our job, and we've really helped improve the perception of groundsmanship, I believe, across the world. And for example, if someone come to me and said, oh well, now I'm under pressure from my management to put a pattern on my pitches, and we haven't got this and we haven't got that, Whereas someone that's negative will see that as a bad thing. Someone who maybe has a bit more of a positive outlook will see that as an opportunity for them to go back to their directors or their board and say, well, if you want us to achieve what Leicester have achieved, then I need more resource, or I need more staff. And if they're that desperate to get a pattern on their playing fields or on their pitches or wherever they are, the local authority or schools or wherever it may be, then so be it. Use it as a tool for your advantage, as opposed to maybe using it as something just to say, oh, we're not doing that, or we haven't got the time to do that. So for me, there was a lot of angles to it, but certainly it wasn't any sort of self-promotion. It wasn't any sort of look at me. It was very much, this is what the industry is capable of. You only have to look abroad to what some of the guys in America do. They're drawing pictures in their pitches, and it gets people talking, and controversy gets people talking. And I'm not really a controversial type of character. I like to think that I hold myself relatively well within the industry, and when I'm talking about the industry, but all these things get people talking, and it hopefully got people talking for the right reasons for the most part last year. And we do a lot outside of what people see, because the persona is, look at him putting patterns on the pitch, look at his team putting patterns on the pitch, and got too much time in their hands. But actually we do a lot, as I said earlier, for the IOG. We've hosted numerous events here for them, and helped them out in that way. We're a constant advocate of the industry. We also have just engaged with our local county FA, and we are pumping close to £280,000 into their facility to improve it, improve the pitches, improve the buildings, and put stands in, improve the changing rooms, so that we can play our fixtures there. And that was something that we could quite easily have gone to a big club and said, everything here is ready to go, we'll pay you a certain amount of money, and that's that. But for me, as someone who was in control of this project and sourced with the responsibility to find a venue for our under-23s to play with, I wanted to pick someone that had a good facility, but we needed it to be excellent. And in turn, we can invest in them, we can invest in the grassroots, and we're doing so much work within the community to engage with them on a level. We're working with their groundsman that's on site at the county FA. We've improved his working conditions, we've improved his machinery, his resource budget. We're educating him in how to be a good groundsman, because he's never had any qualifications. He's just a guy that was working there part-time. So there is a lot more to us, and I think a lot of people that are very quick to criticise don't often take a step back and look at everything else that goes on, which is disappointing, especially when it's in your own industry. But like I said, we know we do things in the right way. We know that what we do on the pitches, behind the scenes on the pitches, are record keeping. I'll work within the community, I'll work with the IOG. We know we're doing the right things, and we will continue to do that regardless whether it gives us praise or gives us criticism. And all my boys carry that message to stay professional throughout, and I believe that we've achieved that.